Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to save money but still buy what you want. So if you noticed from the thumbnail of this video, I definitely have a little guilty weakness of designer handbags. I love Louis Vuitton, I love Chanel, I collect designer handbags, so in certain areas of my life I definitely kind of spend more, but then other areas I do penny pinch. Now that's not the tips that I'm going to be talking about today, but if you did click on this video because you thought I would be unboxing something from Louis Vuitton, then you're lucky because I do have something that I got for my birthday that I do want to show you, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. But in this video, I am going to be laying down certain foundations that I think everybody should kind of have in their life, no matter if you have tons of money or maybe you don't have much at all. They're just really good things that I think everybody should kind of be aware of. And then the remainder of the video, I will be going over my money saving tips. But the thing about these tips, they're not typical tips. To me, they are things that will help you save money, but you'll still be able to buy and get things that you want. Before we get into the video though, if you happen to be new, then hello, my name is Shay. I would love for you to consider subscribing. I tried to think of something super clever to say about my channel and about myself, but unfortunately, nothing's coming to my head. So if you happen to think you might like my channel, then consider subscribing down below. Alrighty, so as I mentioned, I am going to be naming 3 foundational key points that I think everybody should kind of be aware of in their life when it comes to finances and money. The number one thing, which might not apply to all of you, but I'm sure it will capture a large amount. Paying off debt should be your number one priority. Should I repeat that? Paying off debt is your number one priority. Seriously. So there are 2 different schools of thought on this. Rewind, I take that back. There's, I'm sure, like a million schools of thought on this, but the ones I'm like pretty familiar with are SUZE, ORMAN, and Dave Ramsey. Being financially secure is extremely important to me. So back in the day, I used to really read up on this stuff. I actually used to watch SUZE Orman's TV show all the time. I love her. So I actually do agree more with her side of things. Dave Ramsey is also very, very popular, but his school of thought is when it comes to debt, you just pay off the smallest amount of debt you have. He wants you to put your money into the smallest one first and get that out of the way. I totally disagree with that philosophy. SUZE Orman says to pay off the amount that has the highest interest rate first. Hello, that makes so much more sense because the higher the interest rate, the more money you are losing and the more money you're paying towards interest. So get those out of the way first. If those credit cards have 18 or 19 or 20, whatever percent, that's insane. That is so much interest going away. That's money being taken away from you. So pay those off first. And that was my cat. The next foundational tip I have for you guys is that saving money each month is not a goal. It should be automatic. So the amount that you save each month should not be negotiable. It should just be a set amount that never goes down, but as time goes on, you actually increase it. You make it go up. Now, I totally understand if you're wanting to pay off your debt, you're gonna put a huge chunk of your savings towards the debt. You still wanna have a chunk of money set aside that if anything happens to go horribly wrong, you have something that can kind of bail you out. You're not in jail. Kids don't go to jail. The third and final foundational tip that I have for you guys before I get into the actual money saving tips is to figure out your spending money. Now, this is money that is available for you to spend each month. It is not money that you have to spend every month, but it's available for you. So do not force yourself to spend this money. If there's something you absolutely love and you definitely want to buy, then buy it. If there's nothing that month that's really calling your name, don't just spend money to spend money. Pretty much the worst thing you can do. Yeah. Alrighty, so we have made it through the 3 foundational financial tips I have for you guys, and now I'm going to get into the actual money saving tips that I always implement, which causes me to really save money but still allows me to buy what I want. Like I promised, I do want to show you what I got for my birthday, and this is a gift from my husband and it is from Louis Vuitton. We are able to spend money on luxury items because we're not completely frivolous with our money. So I don't want to show you this in any way to like brag or say like I'm the best, I'm amazing. This is kind of like a luxury channel, so I think most of you will understand, but this is kind of just to show you that if you do kind of focus a lot on the finances of your life, you can kind of reward yourself, and it's great. Sometimes it just makes you feel good. So anyway, what I got is this amazing Louis Vuitton silver bracelet. It's a monogram bracelet, and if you guys watched my what I got for Christmas video, you will see that he also purchased me an Hermes bracelet. It's actually a leather one. It's like a wrap one, and I'm not wearing that today, but in this video, I will definitely insert them together because he had bought this with the intention of me wearing those together, which I love wearing them together. I love how it incorporates the gold and silver because my jewelry everywhere else is also gold and silver. I like mixing metals. Some people hate it, but I personally love it. I feel like it really gives me a lot more flexibility when it comes to jewelry. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the actual money saving tips. Now, the typical money saving tips that I always hear in like every single video: don't buy coffee at Starbucks, or just get water at restaurants, skip the appetizers, pack your lunch for work. Those are great tips. Totally agree with them. I mean, if that's what you want to do, those are great tips to save money, but that's not the kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about. So the first tip I have for you guys is to wait at least 3 days on large purchases and 3 weeks on huge purchases. So to me, a large purchase is anything in the hundreds. Like if you're spending 100, 200, 300, something like that, to me, that's a pretty large purchase. By the way, this is totally relative. I mean, if you're in high school, $100, $200, $300, that seems like a lot. So I would maybe apply this to the really huge purchase, if that makes sense. Again, this is totally relative. This is just kind of what I follow and this is what I do. Back to what I was saying though, large purchases are in the hundreds, huge purchases are in the thousands. So if you really want something that costs a few $100, definitely wait at least, it could totally be more, at least 3 days before you buy it. So that means if you go to the mall and you fall in love with maybe a Kate Spade or a Marc Jacobs bag, maybe it costs $300, go home. Do not buy it. Think about it for at least 3 days. And if you still can't get it out of your mind, then buy it. I really believe like 9 times out of 10, you end up not buying it. So you kind of save money, but at the same time, if you truly love something and you just can't get it out of your mind, you still buy it. The next tip I have for you guys is if you want something that's kind of like an improved version of something, then make sure you always sell the original one first and then put that money towards the new one. This could be applied in so many more ways than you probably realize. I mean, the big ones would be a car. If you want a new car, yes, you're probably going to sell the old one, but the same philosophy and the same principles apply to kind of everything. Like when I got a new YouTube filming camera, I made sure to sell my old one first. Once that one sold, then I rewarded myself and I purchased the new one. We wanted a brand new big screen TV in our recently refinished basement, so we sold the old one first. We sold it on Craigslist, and with that money, we applied it to the brand new big screen TV, and we technically didn't pay full price. So that is definitely a really good thing to keep in mind when it comes to medium to larger purchases. Now, the next tip will come along when you don't have an older version to sell first. And in that situation, if you really do want to get some money to apply it to what you want, go ahead and use the one in, one out rule. People in the luxury community, more specifically handbag community, we like to use this rule when we want a brand new and expensive handbag. We take one handbag that we're not really loving so much, that we don't really use, we sell that one first, and then we bring in the new one. So it's kind of like a rotational thing. We sell one out and bring one new one in. If you want an expensive pair of shoes, sell several other pairs that you don't really use that often, put them on Craigslist, put them on Facebook. A lot of groups are on Facebook, like flea markets and all kinds of things. You can sell things and then put that money towards the new shoes that you're gonna bring on into your closet. Now, if you're looking to buy something that you can't resell, maybe it's beauty products, maybe it's skincare, something like that, but you really are pining for this latest like skincare regimen, you want it so bad, I'm sure you already have a skincare routine going. What you do is use up all of the products you have in that genre first. Once you use up those products, reward yourself and buy what you want. So not only will it kind of save you money because you're actually using what you have, but it kind of gives you an incentive to use up what you have to reward yourself with what you really want. Say you want to try a really expensive coffee that you've just been hearing amazing things about. Use up all of the coffee you have in your cupboard and then reward yourself with the brand spanking new expensive coffee. I know these are weird examples. I'm just trying to show you guys that it can be applied to anything in your life. The next tip I have for you guys is to limit your subscriptions. Now, I know subscription boxes are like all the rage right now. I actually don't have any currently at the moment, but there are a few things that I did eliminate that really made a big difference and I didn't even realize it. So a lot of you, I'm sure, love Netflix. You watch Netflix all the time. I love Netflix too. So that is definitely a subscription that I don't want to get rid of. I would miss that if I got rid of it. But are there any subscription subscription boxes, subscription magazines, something that if you just didn't get it in the mail, would you actually remember that you didn't get it? If you can think of anything at all, just cancel it. Seriously, just cancel it. That is free money that will go back into your bank account every month and you won't even realize you're missing the subscription. The next tip I have for you guys definitely involves more expensive things. So if you do want to buy the expensive designer handbag or the expensive pair of shoes, make sure you keep the but in mind. And what do I mean by but? What I mean is one designer handbag is going to equal about 10 or 12 regular handbags. Same with shoes. If you want to buy a very expensive pair of shoes, that's going to equal a plethora of regular priced shoes. If you want a huge variety of shoes to choose from and buy all throughout the year, and that's really important to you, then maybe don't buy the expensive shoes because that will limit your budget and what you can spend in that genre. Same with the handbag. If you buy a really expensive handbag, then maybe skip the ones from Topshop, H&M, Forever 21. And again, if you are super financially secure, then obviously this tip won't apply to you. I'm trying to make this a little bit generic so that it kind of covers a lot of different ranges of situations when it comes to financial security. I know everyone's situation is a little bit different. And the last tip I have for you guys is something totally unconventional, but sometimes I think it really does work. As a girl, we all love fashion, beauty, girly things. Maybe not all of us. At least I do. Sometimes there's things we want and then there's things we need. I probably need a new button-up work blouse. I was in my closet the other day and I was like, yeah, it's like a classic thing to have. I got a stain on mine recently and I don't really have one now. I don't really like the way the old one fits either, so I probably need that. But I don't want that. What I've really got my mind on is this amazing blazer that will not only work for work, but it'll also work for casual outfits when I wear it with ripped jeans. And sometimes that's just what you should do. And you can apply this to makeup, beauty, anything. Sometimes it's better to just buy what you want instead of what you need. I know that can sound totally irresponsible, and in certain situations that definitely won't work, but in some it will. And honestly, when you buy what you want, that kind of fulfills you a little bit more, and then in turn, you're less likely to spend even more money. When you feel fulfilled, you don't want to go out and spend more money because you're happy with what you have. And that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my tips on how to save money but still buy what you want. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you back, but otherwise I will definitely see you very, very soon in my next video. Bye!